Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a topic that causes a ton of stress and anxiety for so many people: immigration case delays. If you've submitted an application and are stuck in what feels like an endless waiting game, you are definitely not alone. It's incredibly frustrating to put your life on hold, waiting for a decision that will shape your future. So, let us pull back the curtain and talk about the real reasons why your immigration case might be taking longer than you expected. Understanding the why can sometimes make the waiting a little more bearable and help you figure out if there is anything you can do on your end. First up, and this is probably the biggest factor of them all, is the sheer volume of applications. Immigration agencies like USCIS, the National Visa Center, and consulates abroad are dealing with massive backlogs. Think about it. Every year, millions of people apply for visas, green cards, citizenship, and other immigration benefits. Each one of those applications has to be reviewed by a real person. During certain times of the year, or due to policy changes, the number of applications can surge, creating a bottleneck. It's like a massive traffic jam. Even if the road is clear ahead, it takes a long time to get through the congestion. These agencies are often understaffed and underfunded, which means they simply do want to have enough officers to process the mountain of paperwork in a timely manner. So, a lot of the time, the delay isn't about your specific case. It's about the system being overwhelmed. Another major reason for delays is something called a request for evidence, or an RFE. If you receive an RFE, it means the immigration officer reviewing your case needs more information before they can make a decision. This could be anything from a missing document, like a birth certificate or a marriage license, to a need for more proof of your relationship for a marriage-based green card. When an RFE is issued, the clock on your case processing essentially stops. Your case is put on hold until you respond with the requested documents. Once you submit your response, your file goes back into the queue. But it doesn't necessarily jump to the front of the line. It has to be re-reviewed, which adds a significant amount of time to the overall process. This is why it is so important to submit a complete and well-organized application from the very beginning. Double-check, triple-check, everything. Make sure every form is filled out correctly, every required document is included, and all translations are certified. A strong initial application is your best defense against an RFE. Let's talk about background checks. This is a non-negotiable part of every immigration process. U.S. immigration authorities conduct thorough security and background checks on every single applicant. They run your name and fingerprints through various national and international databases, including those managed by the FBI and other intelligence agencies. The goal is to ensure that applicants don't have a criminal history or pose a security risk. Most of the time, these checks clear relatively quickly. However, sometimes there can be a snag. Maybe your name is very common and it gets flagged as a potential match to someone else in a database. Or perhaps there's an old, minor incident on your record that requires further investigation. When a hit occurs, your case is sent for additional review, and this can cause significant delays. Unfortunately, this part of the process is largely out of your control. It's a black box, and you just have to wait for the agencies to complete their work. Now, let's discuss changes in your personal circumstances. Did you move to a new address? Did you get married or divorced? Did you have a child? Did you change jobs? Any of these life events can impact your immigration case and potentially cause delays if not handled correctly. For instance, if you move, you must update your address with USCIS. If you don't, you might miss crucial notices, like an RFE or an interview appointment. Missing an interview is a huge problem and can lead to your case being denied for abandonment. If your case is employment-based and you change employers, the process can get very complicated and may require starting over with a new petition. It's vital to report any significant life changes to the appropriate immigration authorities and, if you have one, to your attorney, to make sure your case stays on the right track. Interview scheduling can also be a source of delay. For many types of cases, like green card and citizenship applications, an in-person interview is required. The availability of interview slots depends entirely on the schedule of your local U.S. field office or the U.S. Embassy or consulate abroad. Some offices are much busier than others, and their wait times for an interview can be months, or in some cases, even over a year. After your interview, The officer might not be able to make a decision on the spot. They might need to review your file further or consult with a supervisor. This is often noted as cases held for review, and it can leave you in limbo for weeks or months, waiting for that final decision to come through. Sometimes, the delay is simply due to human error or administrative issues. Your file could be misplaced, transferred to the wrong office, or just sit on an officer's desk waiting to be picked up. It's frustrating, but it happens. Mail can get lost, and data entry errors can occur. These administrative snaffies can be incredibly difficult to diagnose and fix from the outside. This is often when it becomes necessary to make an inquiry about your case. You can check the status online, but if your case is outside normal processing times, you might need to submit a formal service request or even seek help from a congressional representative's office to get someone to actually look at your file and figure out what's going on. Finally, policy changes and new regulations can throw a wrench in the works. The immigration landscape is constantly shifting. A new executive order, a change in interpretation of a law, or new security protocols can all have a ripple effect on processing times. When new policies are implemented, immigration officers need to be retrained, forms may be updated, and the criteria for approval can change. This period of adjustment can cause a system-wide slowdown as everyone adapts to the new rules. We saw this happen with various travel bans and changes to public charge rules in the past. These shifts can affect both new and pending cases, adding another layer of uncertainty to the process. So, what can you do about all this? While many of these factors are out of your hands, you're not completely powerless. First, as I mentioned, file the most complete and thorough application possible. Front-load it with evidence. Second, keep all of your information updated. If you move, tell USCIS immediately. Third, diligently check your case status online and be aware of the published processing times for your specific form and service center. If your case is well beyond the normal time frame, it's time to take action. You can submit an e-request or call the USCIS contact center. If that doesn't work, consider getting help from an experienced immigration attorney. They know how to navigate the bureaucracy and can sometimes file inquiries or legal actions to get a stalled case moving again. Navigating the immigration system can feel like a lonely and challenging journey, especially when faced with long, silent delays. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the stress of it all, taking care of your well-being is just as important as managing your paperwork. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the immigration process. Drop your questions in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.